Hello, guys, and welcome to day two of 21 business days of skilling you softly. I am Sarita Price. I am a life and leadership coach and the CEO and founder of FSP Enterprise, where I'm a soft skill expert and I am a advocate of what I call soft skill matter movement. So welcome you. Just to give you each day, this is day two. So we're gonna briefly talk about a soft skill today that, as I stated yesterday in day one, that not only will help you in your professional life, but as well as help you in your personal growth as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. Just always do this, just tell you a little bit about me. You can actually go to my profile. I am on all things. I'll give you the information at the end of this. But basically, I have a passion for helping my clients, which I have individual clients, as well as I work with different organizations um, to really help advance and enhance and develop your life and your leadership skills, really equip you to be confident and bold in the things that you do in the workplace and in your life. So, like I said earlier, I'm a firm believer soft skills matter. I don't think we really realize now. I think now, with everything going on with the pandemic, we're really seeing that, hey, soft skills do matter. So I'm on this movement, like I said, for the month of February to talk about more in detail about what soft skills are, why they really do matter. Okay. So like I say, I'm the one, not only am I going to help you take care of your business, I do leadership and business coaching, but I'm a board certified life coach to help take care of your being as well. So the soft skill today, well, let me just say this. Let me go back. For my audience who may be joining me for the first time, you said, what are soft skills? So really, soft skills are those desirable qualities, or what they call transferable skills, that they really don't depend on acquired knowledge. So whatever profession you in, um, you know, they will help you as far as be a better leader. Um, there is a quote that I saw that, hey, it said that your IQ will get you in the door, but your EQ, which is emotional intelligence, which is a soft skill, will get you promoted. So we're going to talk about emotional intelligence as well, but I just want to give you a what exactly are soft skills. They're your people skills. In a nutshell, that's what they are. So soft skill of today, what we're going to discuss today is conflict management. It's a soft skill for today. So we pretty much have heard this, dealing with conflict. You're going to have conflict. You can't get away from it, where it's in your personal life or your in your business life, whether you are an entrepreneur or you work for an organization in a leadership role. And remember what I said yesterday. Leadership, everybody is a leader. A leader is someone that is accountable for someone or something. So whether you are a leader in an organization, you are a leader in your home if you're a parent. And guess what? Let's just say you don't have any children, you're single. You're still a leader because you're accountable for yourself. So how are you leading yourself through this? So really, when you're talking about conflict management, how do you manage conflict? Let's first define it. So conflict is really the practices are really recognizing and dealing with disputes, but you want to deal within an irrational, a balance, and a very effective way. Really, the purpose of conflict management It's to really to enhance your learning and group outcomes. Include, you want to be effective, and also to you want a good outcome, a performance outcome if it's in an organization. So you want to increase, increase the positivity, and you want to of course decrease the negativity. And let me just say this about conflict management. I have some clients I'm getting ready to start working with shortly, that want me to come in and do a leadership training because they have new leaders in the organization and they're not really prepared. They're having, issues. Let me just say this: conflict resolution is a process. It does not happen overnight. Because one of the things that I always tell my clients, is individual or working with different companies. It's a process. If you want me to come in and do some type of training, especially one of this nature, it's just not a one and done. I come in, I spend a couple of hours or a day, and then I'm gone, because most time they'll gather that information. I was reading an article last night, a peer review article last night, about they'll come in, trainers or come in, they have these trainings to get the information. Well, you go back to your office within a day or two, you've forgotten everything because life has really happened. So this is a process, to really, I normally my programs I have, when you talk, especially one of this nature, how to deal with conflict, it can be anywhere from 3 to 6 months, because you have to, this is a soft skill. You actually have to master this craft of conflict resolution and in the conflict management process. So conflict resolution is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. So let's talk about what are some of the conflict management strategies. So I kind of broke this down into, I put addressing personal conflict, addressing workplace conflict. And let me just see if you see that little arrow here in the middle, they can actually go hand in hand, because sometimes you may have conflict at work because you're having personal conflict. And then sometimes you may have conflict at home because you have conflict at work, right? So addressing personal conflict. And I'm just going to say this one really can go hand in hand, but I just wanted to break it out in two. When you're talking about personal conflict, first thing first, you need to, if there's anger, if you're upset, you need to learn how to manage your anger, especially in the workplace. You need to first, whatever you need to do, if you need to go take 10, if you need to go do deep breathing, go in your office, go outside, go sit in your car, whatever you need to do, you need to find a method to deal with. You need to manage your anger first and foremost. And if you're in the heated discussion at the moment, you may not can walk out to your car, whatever, but that's a technique. Find a technique to manage that. Number two, you need to apologize if necessary, right? So when you're dealing with some things, it was like, well, I wasn't in the wrong. I didn't do anything. Having that conversation, apologize if necessary. It's a must. You need to define the problem. Why are we having this disagreement? Why is there conflict? Get to the root cause of why there is. What is the problem? Get to the problem. And then, of course, once you identify the problem, agree where you can. Sometimes I always say you have to agree to disagree, but you agree where you can. If there's an issue, agree where you can. And then that's when you start identifying the solutions. Like I said, this is the process. It doesn't happen overnight. Then you settle what kind of actions are we going to take? And I'm just going to give an example. Let's just say maybe it's something you have going on in your home with your family. You got an issue coming up of, especially I always give this, if you're a married couple, you're raising children, whatever age, some of the things you need to, disagreement on. You got to come up with a solution, because at the end of the day, it's not about you, it's about the child, right? Settle on a plan. And then work as a team, family to follow that or family to follow that plan. Because at the end of the day, it's about building trust. This is in the workplace as well. Um, so, really and truly, as I generally move into the workplace, this goes for personal. First and foremost, don't postpone conflict resolution. That is the worst thing you can do. Many times, and I have seen it so many times in the work environment and personal, people don't like confrontation. There's an elephant in the room. Everybody sees it. Everybody, believe me, I've had 20 years of working in corporate America. Everyone sees it. There's an elephant in the room. Nobody wants to talk about it. They see it, but you just keep postponing. And then, after the meeting, everybody's going their little separate ways, and then you doing separate ways, and then you having these little private conversations. But you have to deal with the conflict. You cannot postpone this. A great leader, and I'm telling you many times what happened. You get human resources involved, and that's what they're there for, to help. Their resource there to help leaders. If there's team conflict, if there's individual conflict, if there's whatever it is, that's what they're there for. Sometimes they may have to bring someone from the outside. As I stated earlier, I've been asked to come in to do some type of training within the next month or so, with some leaders, because this is the biggest thing about being in leadership. This is the advantages. And then you have your disadvantage. You're going to have to deal with people. You're going to have conflict. You cannot avoid it. So that's fine from some solutions forward. So the first thing when you are, especially when I'm coaching, group coaching or individual, first thing first, you need to listen. Don't interrupt. Listen. Let the other party have their say. I know it's hard, and then listening is part of effective communication, communication is a soft skill, and I can't remember what day we're going to have that discussion, but that's part of effective communication. Listening, let people speak. Don't interrupt them. First of all, it's unprofessional, disrespectful, and it's rude. Listen to them speak. Okay. This is where you're having a one-on-one discussion, or if it's in a dynamic of a team a group that you're having, right? Next, assemble the group, right? So make sure that, everybody's involved as well. And you want to make sure that, most important, you need to make sure you are unbiased. I know sometimes that's difficult, but I guess you can say in the many years as an HR professional, that's one thing that I have had to you put it like this. You may be in a wrong profession if you don't know how to be unbiased, because that's important. Sometimes does it always happen? No, it does not. Sometimes we have, and that's another thing, you have being unbiased. Sometimes you have unconscious bias, right? But you need to make sure you bias both parties, listen to them in the process. And then, when you're in the process of finding solutions, make sure if as a leader, make sure you praise your employees, broadcast praise. I mean, they do something right. They may not always be as effective when they come to work as other employees, but they're there. Give them some type of praise. Focus on strength instead of their weaknesses. That's another part of leadership. I don't know if it is popular, but I still use this book called Strength Finders, where you focus on the individual strengths versus focusing on their weaknesses. So, praise them if they do something right, especially as a team. Make sure you give praise to your team. And, sometimes that could be the issue. You're not praising and giving them due just for what they're doing. If there's areas of opportunities, that's where coaching comes in. Make sure you coach your employees. So, that to coach them where they need to be. And then last, promote teamwork. Which teamwork? That's another soft skill. Promote teamwork. Come together as a team. In my, I actually teach ENT, which is entrepreneurship and innovation at Grand Canyon University. I'm online instructor. And one of the assignments, there's a couple of team assignments. And, I'm always trying to tell them, to most of my students are going back to school, and this depending on what class, some of them are straight out of high school. So you can tell the more seasoned students who've been in the work environment, and they have team assignments, and they, there's conflict in the team where if an assignment is due Sunday, and I always tell them, be proactive, start working on even if you see a assignment that is not due in a couple of weeks, start working on it before the assignment is due. So in your teams, and you always have the situation where you have someone, if the assignment is due Sunday, the person may not show up to the team to Saturday or Friday or Saturday. So that issues conflict, or people don't do exactly what they're supposed to do. And here's my thing to help resolve them. I try to have a platform. Actually, I try to have a practice of letting them resolve as much conflict as possible before I intervene, because this is my example to them. If you're in a workplace and you're given a team assignment, a group assignment, or whatever, tasks for your job, and you're always going to have that one. I don't care what you're doing. You're always going to have one that's not going to participate, not going to show up. It's going to be difficult. Are you going to go run to your supervisor every time the person doesn't do something? I don't think that may be a good look. Now, if it's something warranted that it's can cause some major issues, of course, you're going to tell your supervisor. But no, you always try to work it out among your team. You take on that extra work if you need to. But at the end of the day, the goal is about getting the job done. If there's 5 people working, only 3 people carry their weight. I know it's not fair, but you got to get the task done. Just like I tell my students. In my situation, I know who's doing the work and who's not, and I can pretty much tell who's engaged and not, and I grade accordingly. So, when you're talking about conflict resolution, having those skills, it's a process, but as a leader, it's great to have this. It's great to have these skills. And it's really almost necessary if you want to be an effective leader. If not, you're going to probably continue to have issues when it comes to your team. Okay, so this is the end of this. And I told you this is actually going to be a little bit longer today. Keep in touch. You can call. You can pretty much find me on all social media platforms. All things Sarita. My link tree from Sarita's pen and my address. And basically, you're going to be seeing me for the next, how many more days we got? We actually have 19 more days now. But you can keep in touch to see where to find me. And I want to thank you guys for coming today. You can always listen to the replay. I want you to join me tomorrow for day 3. And let me tell you, tomorrow's soft skill, let me just put it like this. To my creatives, you don't want to miss tomorrow, day 3. All right? So you guys have a powerful rest of the day. And I will see you tomorrow on day 3 of the 21 business days of Skilling Software. Have a good day.